Awesome, right? You can't beat Wet n Wild. Hey there, gorgeous! Today's one brand tutorial is featuring Wet n Wild. I'm using some old favorites and mixing it in with some newer releases. So I'm going to show you a beautiful look that you can create for an affordable price. Beginning with primers, they have come out with a new eyeshadow primer. This is called Mega Last. It comes out of the bottle looking like it has color to it, but it dries clear. So I'll just show you what it looks like. So it looks like that. Just blends right in with your skin. The next product is the 5-in-1 Essence Primer Liquid. This does a lot of things. It's got a whole long list here of all the things that it does. Smooths, conditions, refines pores, balances, and prolongs makeup. It's really just a clear liquid, and they tell you to apply it to your face and allow it to set for 1 minute. The foundation that I'm using today is one that wears really well on me already, so I don't think it's a fair test to see how this primer will wear. So what I will do, as with the eyeshadow primer, I'm working on a whole video on face primers too, where I'll be doing another battle of. I'm going to include this in that video so we can see how it truly performs. But it feels nice on the skin, and it does add a smoothness. At least I feel like it does. Let me know what you think. An old favorite here, as many of you know, this is the Brulee eyeshadow. I lay it down before any makeup application on my eyes, and if you haven't heard why I do that, it creates a smooth base for makeup to glide over the top of. It makes your eyeshadow application a lot better. And if you can't find a shade that matches your skin tone like I'm using here, translucent powder does the same thing. The palette that I'm using today is the Wet n Wild Petalette. This is not my favorite one. My favorite is the old formula. This one. Do you remember this one? This is so good. This one is okay. It's a little less quality compared to the old one, and the only difference is they added this shade right here, but everything else pretty much stayed the same in terms of the color story. If you want to use the old one for this look, go ahead. I think you would like the results a little better, but we are going to make this work today. So I'm taking this shade to begin. Now this is just my opinion, but I feel like when they did those 5-pan palettes, they lost quality somewhere, because even like the Walking on Eggshells palette, I loved the original. The original was great. It was like, it ain't broke. Why'd you need to fix it? But something happened when they made that newer 5-pan palette. The quality wasn't as good as the original. So I don't know. Do you feel that way too, or are you pretty happy with the 5 pans? Going back with a blank brush, I'm softly blending along the edges of that crease color. Next shade I'm taking from this palette is this light pinky purple. This is one that I've always had to apply wet, so I'm spritzing it lightly with a setting spray and applying it to the inner half. You can apply it dry, but I find that it works better when it's applied wet. Taking that deep purple at the bottom of the palette, I'm applying this onto the outer third of the lid. And taking a brush with a fluffy tapered tip, I have a small amount on that brush, and I'm going to work that up into the outer crease and into the outer V. One of my favorite things to do with this kind of eye look is take the dark purple from the palette and use an angled brush. This is the MAC 263. I'm also going to get this wet with some setting spray and use it as eyeliner. If you apply that dark purple by itself as liner, it doesn't go on as pigmented as if when you spritz it with the setting sprays. So in this instance, I do feel like that getting it wet does make a huge difference. Ta-da! There you go. Very easy to do. It takes a lot more layering than with the original palette, but we can still make it work. Now for the brows, I love the micro brow pencil from Wet n Wild. Where is it? This one. This is in the shade Soft Brown. And what I love about it is it's got a defined tip to it, and it creates the most beautiful, sharp lines of any drugstore brow pencil at this price point. I believe it's $3 or $4. It reminds me a lot of Brow Pen, the way that it applies the product in. And it looks like, I mean, it looks like hair when it's all said and done. You can blend it from there, which is what I usually do, or you can leave it alone. It's up to you. I also like that it's a great color match for me. Not too red, not orangey, but it's like a soft ginger color. Awesome, right? You can't beat Wet n Wild. I did add a pair of lashes. These are the style Unapologetic from my lash line. I'll have them linked for you below if you're interested in them. For the foundation, I'm using an old favorite, the Photo Focus Dewy Finish Foundation. This is the one few dewy finish foundations I can wear having an oily complexion that does not make me look like a big old disco ball. It actually looks decent on me and it wears really well throughout the day. I was really sad, by the way, to see in Walgreens recently, it looks like they may be discontinuing this one because it was on sale. Just dropped it on my pants. On sale for $1.29, I think it was. I really hope that's not what they're doing. Maybe they're just repackaging it, but it's such a good foundation. And what I like about it is that you can adjust the coverage. It's not one of those that looks cakey on the skin, and I mean, it just plays really well on my skin type. I know it's really good for dry skin too. It's an all-around awesome foundation. I just don't pick it up that often. Now, I am not applying much, but you can see the amount of coverage I'm getting already just with that very small amount that I have applied. I just can't get it out. That's okay. It's not important pants or anything. Everyone knows that YouTubers, lucky if they are wearing pants behind the camera. I just happen to have kids, so you know, that ain't a thing anymore. I don't have a favorite concealer from Wet n Wild. I've tried the Incognito, didn't like it. Tried it several times. So the only product that is not Wet n Wild that I'll be using today is the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer Pen, because I do really love this one. And to set the face, old favorite, one that you introduced me to, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Powder. If you have not tried this, let me show you why you should. I don't have to say anything. You just gotta see it. Watch. I'm not gonna edit this part of the video, just so you can see what it does. This is a Real Techniques brush, by the way, if you're interested in which one it is. Oh, which one? It's the blush brush, but I like to use it as powder because it's so fluffy. But look at what this does. It instantly blurs everything. It's like just everything be gone. It looks amazing on the skin. You would swear that it was high-end because of how finely milled it is, and it's lightweight. The finish is beautiful. Yeah. Words can't say it, but the video can. And I believe that this is around $4 to $5 if I'm not mistaken. While I was in the Wet n Wild display recently, I noticed that they came out with some new blushes. Not like anything we've ever seen before from them. Total new packaging. Look at this. So this is one of the blushes that I picked up. The shade that this is in is Naked Brown. I've been getting into brown-based blushes lately. I just think they are beautiful. Maybe I'm going back to my 90s favorites, but I feel like they warm up my face without looking like too much. And there you can see what I mean. It's just, well, that's a pretty color. Sometimes you just want to break away from the whole pink thing, you know, and do something different. But let's go back to an old favorite. What Wet n Wild is known for, at least I feel like they're known for, highlighters. This is in the shade In the Bloom Time. And their highlighters are rival with high-end, I feel like. I mean, these are ones you could consider drugstore makeup better than high-end, because look at this. This is just gorgeous. It's one thing that they do really, really well. They've released a new line of lip products too. I hadn't heard of these until I just saw them in the display very recently. This is the Lock and Shine. It's also part of the Mega Last line. These reminded me a lot of those NYX ones. I think they're called Shine Out Loud, but they are promising a 12-hour wear on here. This is in the shade Nude Illusion. So it's a lip color and a gloss. You know, I'm getting a good idea for a video. Ooh, that's pretty. Wouldn't it be awesome to test all the makeup products in the drugstore that promise to have a 16-hour claim or a 12-hour claim, or like, you know, do a full face of that. I don't know if you could. I don't know if there's enough products out there like that, but it'd be worth investigating. I'll put the gloss over the top, although I'm not really a fan of gloss. This is rather thick too, which I really don't care for usually. And sticky, very sticky. I mean, the color is nice, but I don't know how I feel about the gloss portion of it. Okay, well, you can see what it looks like with the gloss, but I'm going to take that part off. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good thing over here in my little corner of YouTube, and it recommends the channel to other people who can find information like this useful also. And if you'd like to subscribe, you're always welcome to do that as well. Share your favorite Wet n Wild product and what brand you would like to see featured in another one brand tutorial like this one that I shared with you here today. Thank you for being here, for taking the time to watch. I speak love, peace, and joy into you and into your home, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.